Magnum and Higgins previously looked for a CEO who had suddenly disappeared on Season 5 Episode 4 of Magnum PI. Rick prepares for Ruthie, his wild child younger sister, to come. In Episode 5, Gordo approached Magnum while he was reading the HPD report on Captain Green's death. Gordon Katsumoto, a former HPD detective, learned of a lost tourist and, though he no longer has access to the case, he could at least ask Magnum to look into it. David Carter is the name of the traveler. He traveled to Hawaii with his wife and kid for a vacation. On the night he disappeared, they were all together on the shore. They were anticipating a pyrotechnics display. David simply vanished after stepping aside to enter the bar. His relatives stopped seeing him. They attempted to contact him. Either he wasn't responding or he wasn't in possession of his phone. His wife thought the opposite. According to Dana, David wouldn't have simply gone away. Not when the family was meant to be enjoying time together. She asserts that if he had to leave, he would have informed her. She wished to call the police, but she wasn't really able to because they don't start looking for able-bodied adults until after a full day has passed. Dana didn't want to hold out for so long. Dana swiveled to face Gordo. Gordo looked over at Magnum. Magnum and Gordo worked together on the case, while Juliet took on another case because Gordo was even ready to assist Magnum with it. Working on a homicide was Juliet. Patty approached the woman. Hank had been Patty's best friend and the joy of her life. When Patty was married to her ex-husband, she met Hank. Even though the union did not last, she was content with Hank. Patty lived for Hank her entire existence. And she started to wonder when he abruptly passed away. Patty had her dog's autopsy performed by the doctor. He consumed a tainted lemon bar, and it killed him. To determine who killed Patty's dog, she engaged Juliet. The dog wasn't thought to be the intended target, except by Juliet. Dogs don't typically consume lemon bars. It seems more likely that Patty's food was poisoned in anticipation of her consumption. When Juliet discovered that Patty has foes, she started to worry about her customer. At the canine park, Patty was despised. She gave her canine complete freedom. Not even sterilized, She also said some very hurtful things to other canine owners. Those folks obviously loved animals far too much to deliberately hurt a dog. On the other hand, his proprietor was up for grabs. There were therefore adversaries from the canine park. Additionally, she had adversaries from her personal life. Recently, Patty canceled a commitment. Juliet discovered that this man wasn't as wealthy as Patty after she broke off the engagement. While her ex chose a more moderate lifestyle, she was enjoying the high life. Only that one former has moved on from Patty since then. He added that because Patty was surviving off of her divorce payments from her ex-husband, Patrick, she would have lost that money if they had married as originally intended. Patrick was the target of Juliet and Kumu, who was working with her on this investigation. Patrick had access to Patty's home because it had once been his, and he was eager to stop paying alimony to her. He managed to contaminate the sugar she used to make her lemon bars in this way. The evidence was gathered by Juliet and Kumu, who also gave Patrick to the authorities. His attempted murder led to his capture. And if Patty had her way, he'd be imprisoned for killing her pet dog as well. Everyone was unaware that Rick had unintentionally set Magnum's pet mouse loose other than TC. The mouse escaped the house, so Rick called TC for assistance in bringing it back before Magnum realized it was gone. Together, they searched the entire inn. They were able to locate a pendant that belonged to Magnum's most recent fling. The mouse was able to return to its cage because they were chatting about Magnum's love partner for so long. Additionally, Juliet saw Magnum's jewelry before claiming it because he was present when the two of them entered the room. TC and Rick are now aware of Magnum's bedtime partner. David was once a mafia employee up until his disappearance in 2010 with their money. He then began again under a different identity. In meeting Dana, they had a daughter and went on a Hawaii holiday. At the bar, David encountered his former criminal boss. Then, in order to avoid the guy seeing him with his family, he fled. Sadly, his family was also seen because the mob leader returned to get them. David had cautioned Dana regarding his former boss. She concealed their child while allowing herself to be apprehended. The young girl was discovered by Magnum and Gordo. She was given to the police by them. They then went in search of David and discovered him. When he was meeting with the mob boss to return the man's money in trade for his wife's life, they discovered him. Gordo, however, produced a diversion. Magnum was able to approach covertly from behind, where they successfully dislocated the mobster's muscle. Additionally, the citizen apprehended the mobster. The scene needed to be cleaned up, so the police were summoned. Although David will be questioned extensively, at least his family is safe, and ideally they won't disappear again.